All right, friends and neighbors. Hey, a question came in on CIDR, so I thought I'd make a quick video response to that. And so here we go. So the question was, how is CIDR different from subnet mask? Now, if you didn't watch the other videos on aggregation, it's understandable why you would have this question. So here's what the deal is. First, we got to remember that traditionally or historically we used class-full architectures, which meant that the masks were fixed, the networks were fixed in size, because remember that you determine your network and the network size by your mask. So your mask will tell you what network you're on, and you can go by the mask to tell you how many nodes are in that particular network. So class A, remember the first octet in a class A is 0 to 127, and the mask is always 255.0.0.0. Class Bs and Class Cs are much the same way. Obviously, Class Bs are smaller than Class As, Class Cs are smaller than Class Bs, and there's the mask. That's always that way, and that's why we call them the class-full architecture, because once you got a network, you had the entire class to yourself, the full class. CIDR is classless interdomain routing. So that's the sort of wording difference, but what does that mean? Well, RFC 4632 is CIDR. And if you watch the other videos, you know that that's sort of the last one in the sequence there. And the whole point that RFC 4632 is trying to get us to understand is that there are some basic problems that we have with our internet address space. The Class B address space is going to be, well, back then was very quickly going to become exhausted. And the reason for that is there weren't that many Class Bs. 65,000, well, it's not really 65,000, but there were a couple thousand Class Bs. And so there weren't that many, and as more and more people wanted to join the internet, what size network do you give them? Well, if they had a network with a couple of thousand nodes on it, do you want to give them a bunch of Class Cs, or do you give them a Class B? Well, if you give them a Class B, they can't fill it up. So that's a very wasteful use of a Class B. On the other hand, you want to spend a whole bunch of Class Cs on that. Again, that one organization then would consume a whole bunch of the Class Cs that were available. All right, so that's one problem. The other problem is that if you actually handed out all of those Class Bs and Class C networks, the internet routing table size, they grow because they've got to be able to reach all of those destinations. So that was becoming a problem. Classless interdomain routing, the ability to use masks that have nothing to do with those boundaries, allowed the scaling of the network size to the number of hosts that you actually needed. So do you need 1,000 hosts? Here's a 1024 address space. Need a couple of thousand? Here's a 2048. So that was the whole idea. And that's actually what ISPs do today. When ISPs get the address space that they're going to organize, they can chop it up into very fine-grained address space chunks so that we don't have anywhere near as wasteful use of the address space than we used to. So that's the whole point of CIDR. Now this last bullet here, eventual exhaustion of the 32-bit IP version 4 address space, CIDR can't do anything about that. And in fact, in 2011, we ran out of space officially. But that was coming anyway. But CIDR, the whole point of CIDR is to break away from those class-full address spaces and allow us to use address space much more efficiently. Thanks for watching. Hope this helps. Hey, subscribe and like if I helped you out here. And I'll see you in the next video.